Hi, my name is Ryan. It's about 3:30 and we're in Tom Fox's home and we're going to do an interview. And how old were you during the Depression?
I suppose I probably was 8 or 9.
So when you got, how did you get into the military and how did you end up in a military band?
That was a real fluke. It was one that you can't hardly believe. I'd signed up for to go aboard ships going back and forth to England, and they put you on a gunboat, you know, on a gunboat. They put you on the back of a cargo boat, and there's normally a 5-inch gun they put on the back of all of them. So they put me on that, and so I went. I was stationed at the Des boat in San Diego, and I'd go out every morning and clean the gasoline off of one of these 5-inch guns. Then we'd fire it at the targets, and then I'd put gasoline on the thing, and we'd get back to the base about 6 o'clock. And that's pretty late for chow. So I would walk into chow and the band was playing. Well, I didn't go to chow. I walked over and stood beside or behind the solo clarinet man and watched him and listened, and pretty soon he turns around like this and said, "Hi, are you interested in music?" I said, "Oh yeah, I like music." He said, "Do you play?" Well, I said, "I used to play in high school." "Oh, good. Would you like to join the band?" I said, "Oh boy, I'd love to." And he said, "Well, when we get done here, follow me over and I'll run you through a test to see if you can make it." So I followed him over there and I went through the test, and he said, "Hey, I think you'll make it. I'll take you over to talk to the chief to see if he could take you in." So I walked over there and he said, "Chief, I think we got a guy here that can play saxophone and he plays the clarinet." He said he does pretty well. He said, "I think we could use him." The old chief says, "Well, what's your name, boy?" And I said, "RobertFox." And he said a bad word, and he said, "Don't kid me, boy." And I said, "No, RobertFox is my name." He said, stuck his hand out, he said, "I'm Chief Fox." And he said, "You're in the band." I couldn't believe it. I said, "You mean I don't have to go out there and cock the cannon again?" He said, "No, man. You're going to be here tomorrow morning to play exercise for the guys. Da-dee-da-da-dee-dee. And they're going to be exercising with you." I said, "Boy, I love it." And I was there for quite a little while. I played for Franklin D. Roosevelt's funeral.
Explain that. How did that happen?
How did it happen?
Yeah.
Franklin Roosevelt died, and the big deal was it had a big parade, and I played for a while. They rolled the casket down, and the big band played. We had about 150 people in the band.
Did you ever experience any combat?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Would you like to explain what happened?
Huh?
Would you like to explain what happened?
The Japanese were trying to drop a bomb on us. And,
Wow.
and we were getting the hell out of the way. So they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
We came pretty close. They dropped one on the fantail, and it bent this big screw that turns the propeller, and bent it. So every morning when they'd rev up, why it'd thump, 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 thump. That's how close it was.
How hard was it to get a date with all those military men around?
That is kind of funny because all the young men were gone. There was lots of chances to have a date. In fact, one of the beer taverns there had a big long table, and they're written on the table, "This table is reserved for the Navy band." While we were in there, and there was no other Navy guys there, and we had our pick of anything that was enjoyable, and was kind of funny because the flute player and I were going around town, and went down, had a beer, and then was walk around town. We walked into the bowling alley, and there was two girls there, and the flute player kind of took a shine to the other girl, and I got tangled up with my wife, and we didn't get along at all. We loused up the game, and so we finally took them home, and I don't know, I guess after we always played a concert on Wednesday or Thursday, I don't remember, over the radio, and there was still nobody there except officers. So, didn't have anything to do, so went out and saw this girl I saw at the bowling alley, you know. And I ended up marrying her. And I just lost her 2 years ago. Yeah. And I miss her pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
But we all gotta go, so.
What did you do before you went into the Army?
Oh, I worked for the railroad. I got a job as a clerk for the railroad. And I might say that all the time I was in the service, my job was held in abeyance, and it's a seniority type thing. And all the people that were hired after I went into the service, I come in ahead of them. So I had lots of seniority when I came in.
Did you go back to the railroad when you left?
Of course.
You did?
Sure, because they have a nice retirement.
Yes.
Mm.
And you don't want to let that go down the tube. I had lots of offers to change business, but I kept saying no, and